This video is for Thursday, March 26th for Algebra 2. We're going to review some trig ideas that we talked about last week and this week. Okay, so first we're going to review SOHCAHTOA. So if you remember, SOHCAHTOA is an acronym to help you remember how to find the trig ratios of a right triangle. So this means sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so those are the three basic trig functions, but we also learned about their reciprocals. So the reciprocal of sine is cosecant. And if you remember, once you find sine, you just flip it over, and that's cosecant. Okay? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and its reciprocal is secant. And then lastly, we have tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, and its reciprocal is cotangent. Okay, so our first example, we're going to have a right triangle, and the three sides are going to be given to us. And we have to write the fractions for the 6 trig functions. Okay, so it looks something like this. Now, if you remember, this symbol down here is called theta, and it's just an angle measurement. So we're going to use that as our starting point for figuring out what sine, cosine, and tangent are. And then once we have those three, we'll just flip them over for the other three, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So if this is theta, 4 is the opposite side. 5 is straight out from the 90, so that's the hypotenuse. And 3 is the leftover side, so it is the adjacent side. Okay, so now we have sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, 4 over 5. Okay, so I'm going to erase this slightly so I have more space. Alright, cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 3 over 5. And then tangent of theta, tangent is opposite over adjacent, so opposite's 4, adjacent is 3. Okay, and then to find the other three, like I've said, we're just going to flip them. So cosecant is going to be 5 over 4. Secant is going to be 5 over 3. And cotangent is going to be 3 over 4. Okay, so that is how you find the 6 trig function values for a given right triangle when you have all 3 sides. Okay, so you will have one problem on your Google form that's going to ask you to find just the first 3, sine, cosine, and tangent. Next up, we're going to find missing sides using trig ratios. Alright, so example 2 looks like this. So 32 is the angle they gave us, this side is x, and this side is 10. So if we're looking at this triangle, we don't have the opposite side. We have adjacent and hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So we would do cosine 32 equals x over 10. Now to solve that, we're going to have to multiply 10 and cosine 32. So we're going to get your phone calculator ready here. So on your phone calculator, we're going to do 32 cosine times 10. And if you round it to the nearest tenth, it should be 8.5. Okay, so x equals 8.5. Okay, now on your notes that I posted to Google Classroom for the day, if you have any problems typing anything into your calculator, let me know, and I will be happy to help you with that. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate here on the video how to do that. So, we're going to tackle part B now. Now, I hope you guys got some time to go outside today because, well, yesterday. I'm videoing this one day in advance, but I hope you got some time to go outside because it was really nice today. Made me a little happier. Alright, so this is our second triangle. The bottom angle here is 73. Up here we have x, and over here we have 12. So 73 is the angle they gave us. We have the opposite side, and we have the hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So we're going to have sine 73 equals x over 12. Okay, so just like the last problem, the way we're going to solve this is multiplying. So we're going to have 12 times sine 73. So on your phone calculator, we're going to do 73 sine times 12. And that will give us x. Okay, so 73 sine times 12. Okay, so that gave me 11.5. So x equals 11.5. Okay, so that's the second problem. Alright, the third one looks like this. We have 62 degrees, this side's x, and this side's 5. Okay, so we have the opposite side and we have the adjacent side. So opposite and adjacent is tangent. So tangent 62 equals opposite x over adjacent 5. And then again, to solve that, we're going to multiply. So 5 times tangent 62. So on your calculator, you're going to do 62 tangent times 5. Okay, so on your phone, we're going to do 62 tangent times 5. And if you round to the nearest tenth, that gave me 9.4. So x equals 9.4. Alright, so that is example 2. That's how you find missing sides using trig ratios. Now example 3, we're going to find some missing angles using trig ratios. So it's got one more step to it. Okay, so like I said, we're going to find missing angles now. So example 3, part A, the triangle looks like this. We have x, 8, and 12. So if x is our angle, straight out from that's the opposite side, and across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. Okay, so we have opposite and hypotenuse. That's going to be sine. So sine x equals 8 over 12. Okay, so on your phone calculator, what we're going to do first is we're going to do 8 divided by 12. So 8 divided by 12 equals. Then we're going to press second and sine. Because when you're trying to find an angle, you need to do sine inverse, cosine inverse, or tangent inverse. So that you get a degree measurement. So the degree measurement I got, if we round to the nearest degree, is 42 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to recap that. First, you have to do 8 divided by 12. Then press the equal sign. Then you're going to press second and sine. Now, once you press second, your calculator is in that mode. So when we do the next problem, we will not have to press second again because your phone's already in that mode to do sine inverse, cosine inverse, or tangent inverse. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. We're going to try part B now. Okay, part B looks like this. Pretend that's straighter than it is. Alright, so this side's 12, this side's 16, and this angle's x. So here we have the opposite and adjacent. So opposite and adjacent is tangent. So we're going to have tangent x equals opposite 16 over adjacent 12. Okay, so first we're going to do 16 divided by 12, and then press the equal sign. So 16 divided by 12 equals, and we're already in that mode where we can do tangent inverse, so don't press second again, just leave it alone. Press the one that says tangent inverse, so the one that looks like this. Okay, and if you round to the nearest degree, this is going to be 53 degrees. So x equals 53 degrees. Okay, so first you have to determine what size do you have, then decide which trig function am I going to use. Then you have to make sure that you push the right buttons. Okay, alright, we're ready for the third one. Okay, so part C of example 3 looks like this. Okay, that's our triangle. The angle up here is x. We have 17 and 20. Okay, so we have the adjacent side and we have the hypotenuse. So cosine x equals 17 over 20. So on your calculator, 17 divided by 20 equals. So 17 divided by 20 equals, and then we're already in the mode to do the inverses, so then you're going to press cosine inverse, the one that looks like this. And if you round to the nearest degree, that would be 32 degrees. So x equals 32 degrees. Alright. Okay, we've got one more example to do. It's going to be pretty quick. We're going to use our calculator to find exact values. So, first one's going to be sine 76. Now, before we can do this, press second again. Get your calculator out of that mode. We want to be back to plain old sine, cosine, and tangent. So, press second again to get out of that mode. Alright, so example 4. Part A, sine 76. So, on your calculator, we're going to do 76 sine. We're going to round it to the nearest hundredth. So, for instance, I got 0.97. Alright, next we're going to do cosecant of 29. Now if you remember, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So when we do that, on your phone calculator, we're going to do 29 sine, then we're going to press this button that says 1 over x, and that'll give us the answer. So 29 sine 1 over x. And if you round this to the nearest hundredth, that would be 2.06. Okay, part C says cosine 134. So we're going to do 134 and then press cosine. And if you round this to the nearest hundredth, that would be negative 0.69. Okay, part D says secant of 207. So to get this, we're going to do 207 cosine 1 over x. Okay, so 207 cosine 1 over x, and I got negative 1.12. Okay, now we've got 2 more to do, and then that'll be it for the day. I know this video is kind of long, but I wanted to give it enough time to review all of the concepts. So, well, this is actually only half the concepts, but I wanted to give you enough time to make sure that you could review every part, so that you would know how to do everything on your Google form for the day. Okay, so tangent of 111 is going to be negative 2.61. So I put the number in first, and then I pressed the tangent. Okay, and then the last one, cotangent of 300. So we're going to do 300 tangent, and then press 1 over x. Okay, so 300 tangent, 1 over x. So here, if you round that to the nearest hundredth, that's negative 0.58. Alright, so your Google form for the day will be a review of all these concepts. There are 8 questions. So if you have any problems, let me know. You can send me an email or a message and I'll get back to you. I hope to see you soon, and I miss you lots. Bye.